My neck and my belly. They call it for me and they. You want me like me and I look. Yeah. Her Rex on her. Yeah. Big Rex better calm down. Yeah. If you go around, come around. Yeah. Whole squad. Yeah. Squad goes on me. Yeah. Make some orange gel on my toes. Yeah. Farrakhan glass for the trolls. Yeah. You can go and get mad. Jumping in the bed with 2 dark teeth. Man, who's you? My shawty pulling up with a real bad. You too. Dripping my swag. Something to do with that. I got the streets on my back. Carry it like I'm moving the. I told him.
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Atlanta Falcons and the Philadelphia Eagles. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. The corner, Ronald Darby, comes up to get it.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And oh, he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. The 40, the 20, 10. Touchdown, Falcons. Devontae Freeman, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Falcons have taken the early lead. And personally, what a start for him to get in the end zone from that distance here on the first drive.
And it has the defense tearing up their defensive goals for the game, doesn't it? Because nowadays, when we talk to all the coaches, they don't talk about limiting yards per carry and those things. They just talk about limiting explosive plays, whether it's through the air or on the ground. And anything an explosive play on the ground, usually, 10, 12-yard runs. This one was way more than that. They've got to go back to the drawing board and try and shut it down.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Now a play fake. Wentz. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Shotgun now for Wentz. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. So out come the Falcons now. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
They go play action here on first down. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. Takes this up just short of the 30, but he was able to avoid that earlier tackle. Nice move. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
A second down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. Looking to throw. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Detroit! Detroit! Over!
They'll set up a throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Well, it doesn't take any great analysis. No jokes, partner, okay? All right, on this one. But we just know that we're going to see this as the game moves forward. There's going to be 2 guys on him on just about every snap.
It's kind of a dare to throw his way, but they have to keep throwing his way.
The benefits could be great. You throw it to a great receiver, he could come down with it anyway.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
All right, Brent, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Leopard! Watch him now, Barney!
He'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And this is going to be incomplete. So possession 1 ended in 6. Possession 2 likely going to end in a punt.
Yeah, that's okay. They've just got to get back to what they worked on in the opening drive and continue to make a few adjustments along the way. It won't be exact because the defense will make a few adjustments themselves. Just get back to your game plan.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to look deep down the field. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Philadelphia. In for the score. And the Eagles are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Charles, there aren't really any slow receivers, but there's fast and then really fast. He's really fast, and he showed off the afterburners there.
And that he is, because when he took off, I was thinking there is no chance that he can actually reach him with that pass. Yet he did, and he's still sprinting. And just think about what that does for everyone else on his team, because his ability to stretch a field opens things up for the rest of the receivers on the team.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
He completes it to Julio Jones. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Now, they may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
They'll look to throw here. He's going to air one out. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Ronald Darby that time, the one who got a hand in and knocked it free. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position, you have to be. You just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball.
It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
Watching that, Barney!
They'll look to throw. He goes underneath to Freeman. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. steps away to his left. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
Back to throw now on first down. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Derek Barnett in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
Watch it now, Barney.
Now a shotgun snap as they look to throw. And that one almost intercepted. Call it a 50-50 ball. It falls incomplete, and now third down. We documented it last week. They played so well defensively. 4 interceptions. Tried to get their hands on another one there.
And when you've had 4 the previous week, you are just itching for more the very next week. And there was a great opportunity. It went by the wayside, but let's not underscore what's going on with this defensive unit. They are around the ball every time it's being put in the air.
The Falcons on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Back to throw here. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. Palardy now on to punt as he sends this one away. And this will be down just inside the 30-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
And he'll be tackled at about the 35. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out.
Hang in there now. Hey, 4 down. There we go. Back. 120.
They fake the give. Now Wentz. Side is Jeffrey. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Throwing on first is Wentz. Being chased out left. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
Great.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Call it a gain of 5. 4th down now.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
And the kick by Elliott is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So he splits the uprights and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. Here comes Ryan Switzer to return it. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they had a long drive going last time, but it stalled out. But still, maybe something positive to carry forward from that last drive.
Well, a few different things that you carry forward. Number one, as you noted, they were moving it pretty well, so that gives them a lot of confidence. The second part is, keeps your defense off the field, gives them a chance to rest up a little bit. And last but not least, you've taken a good look at what you've done on offense, noted where the weaknesses are, and you know when you want to come back to it.
Like when you're organized with your points. Well done.
Point A, B, and C.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Detroit! Detroit! Over!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Keeps himself upright. Looking deep for Julio. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 23. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Sunday! Black, come on. Check, 59.
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. Completes it to Aguilar. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. First time that they've called his number tonight, and it gets him a 1st down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. Ricardo Allen, the safety, makes the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be 3rd down and about the length of the football. And they'll go on the ground. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Well, they're currently the best in the NFL in converting on third down, so it was no surprise there that they picked that one up.
And they've done it in many different ways throughout the season, Charles. Picking it up, running it, throwing it, just effective on third downs all year long. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And they'll run it here. And not much running room. Down to the 32. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
On play action, Wentz. He's going to go up top for the end zone. This is taken in by Jeffrey. He's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. Carson Wentz with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Eagles add on to their lead. The fly route works for the TD ground.
And you know what the receivers love to say? If we get even with the defender, we're leaving. And that's exactly what he did all the way into the end zone. And then he was on the business end catching it once he got over the stripe.
Elliott now to kick this one away. Switzer now to return. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to try and go deep again, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And he will take this across midfield and down to the 48-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. That's caught inside the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Give him 30 yards there.
Please 5-7. 81. Sunday.
From the red zone now, Wentz. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. As they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. gun, it's Wentz. And the pressure gets to him again. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Eagles coming up here on a third and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Working from the gun, Wentz looking for the end zone. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's fourth down. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. He made his first attempt, this from 45. And Elliott puts this one through. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Switzer now to return. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This will be fielded at the 8. And an excellent return there as he's up to the 35 and make it the 40-yard line.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. One first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at the 40. Throwing now is Wentz. And complete to Zach Ertz. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Wentz. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. It was Desmond Trufant right there, step for step in coverage.
Well, sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
The Eagles on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. And they'll go with the ground attack here. Oh, good footwork on the spin. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Call it a gain of 10, and they pick up the first.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. They'll run it now out of the gun. to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The Eagles on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 4.
Check 59. Mike is 59. Mike is 50. 82.
Play action. Now Wentz. Out to his left. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
They had enough yards for the first down, but a clutch hit right there defensively. Jars it free. No first down.
And the kick by Elliott is good. And that will swell the lead to 16. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the second half now. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Detroit! 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 Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
Back to throw. Call that a loss of 7 to bring up 4th. Here's Michael Palardy now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
They go play action here on first down. That ball's caught. Aguilar right side. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
You know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Wentz to throw on second down. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. DeMarcus Walker in there to get him for a loss of 5. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack.
82, 82.
Check. 4 down, 4 down.
Lynn.
Shotgun now for Wentz. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. So they'll turn to the kicker again. He's been a busy man thus far. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. And Elliott puts this one through. And that will make this now a 19-point advantage. So making 4 out of 4 now in the field goal department, and he's able to extend their lead.
When drives have bogged down, he's been automatic out there. So nice to have a kicker you can count on to put points on the board.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Watch it now, Barney.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Jones. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. A first down carry for Smith. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
The gun, they'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw, so maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Now a play fake here on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Derek Barnett in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight.
That's his 2nd sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Gun!
He'll look to throw. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And he'll get it down here to the 43. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Falcons. They'll have the football, but trailing on the scoreboard as we get set to begin the fourth. The Falcons on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. He'll look to throw. He sets to fire deep. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And he returns it up just shy of the 20 to the 19-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Check, please, 5-7. Check 31. Go.
To throw, it's Wentz. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 48. Powers ahead at the 45. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's going to go up top again. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Over.
And 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw again. And he comes back with one complete. Even with the good footwork, he'll be stopped just inside the 35-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. A handoff. Devontae Freeman. And a short gain down to about the 33. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They're already slim. Hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Dan Quinn's guys unable to come through there on 4th down. And the Eagles defense able to hold. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at the 40. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Here we go.
Now Wentz throwing on second down. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
Hang in there now. Don't go. Waiting. Mike, check. 59.
And they'll go on the ground. Gets past one man. Solid running on the carry, but still brought down just inside of the 40. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Here we go. 20.
Now Wentz. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
Well, man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2.
Don't go. 180. Hey, D-line, let's get in there.
To throw is Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeMarcus Walker in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is fielded at the 7. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And out will come the offense as they take over. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold
But he
up.
trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Nigel Bradham. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Don't go. 280.
And they'll run it here. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning.
Sunday. Touch. 180. Check. Lefty. Please.
Now a play fake. Wentz steps away. And that is out of the back of the end zone, incomplete. Nelson Aguilar, the intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
You got to be precise with your throws, especially in this situation. You're inside the 10-yard line going into the end zone. But sometimes the emotion, the excitement, sometimes the decisions just aren't made very well because of that.
Here we go. Waiting.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
Switzer now to return. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On first down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. Now back to throw. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Nigel Bradham, the linebacker, right there on the coverage.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time.
Watch it now, Barney.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. It's caught. Jones. And they get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. They'll look to throw now on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And his throw is incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones, his intended receiver. And it'll bring up 3rd down. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter, and find their way open.
And finding the tight end, Hooper. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
No. Check. Patriot.
They're going to look to throw. He can run for it, and he will. But no reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
He'll drop to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Dancing to his left. And he's got it. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones, his first touchdown on the year. And the Falcons get a bit closer. They'll set up to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down just inside the 5-yard line. Tried to roll out, make a play outside of the pocket, but couldn't get it done.
When you don't have a lot of space for your receivers to operate, and down there it's really condensed when you're snapping the ball from the 2-yard line, rolling out, you extend a play, but you don't necessarily open up better avenues for people. And on that play, there's just nowhere to go with the ball, and they end up getting sacked.
They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
Fourth quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on first down. They did that plus 3.
Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Or are you one of those guys
I'm a little
skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for Philadelphia, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And they'll get a home date next week against the Detroit Lions.